You are way more important than you think you are, and I'm going to try to explain why I think so. I went to school for computer engineering, and one of the things that I studied while I was there was this concept called mesh networking. Now, mesh networking is a network made of little nodes, and if you imagine just tossing a bunch of quarters into a parking lot, and imagine that each of these quarters can connect to each other, and then they form a network, the same way that you have a cellular network or a home network. Except instead of a central access point, each one of these coins can be an access point, and they can all connect to each other. And they all form what's called a mesh. And they have connectivity to each other. There's all these traits, it can get really technical, but just imagine that little picture in your mind of a bunch of little nodes and the connections in between them. And you should see where I'm going with this. When I was in school, I always thought of people as nodes. And at that time, Facebook was starting to come out. And now we live in this world where each one of us has all of these amazing connections to other people. But let's focus on speech really quick, because I want to talk about energy. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you're talking to somebody and you hit them with that sarcasm, or if they get snarky with you, it's almost like you can feel that energy that they're delivering with their words. The same phrase spoken 8 different ways has 8 different energies, and you know exactly what I'm saying. You probably have a million different conversations all flipping through your head right at this moment, each one of them carrying a different energy. We all connect to each other. We all form this giant mesh network. And one of the weird features of the mesh networks that I studied in school is this idea of self-healing. Now, imagine that in a mesh network, in these cases, it's more like it's very static. It doesn't move very much. The connections, once they're laid down, usually stay the same. There's not really dynamic mesh networks. Those are different kinds of mesh networks. But what if one of the nodes goes away? How does the rest of the network heal? It's this concept called self-healing mesh networks. And we do this all the time. When we lose people, when people fall out of our little network, when they disappear for one reason or another, when they move away and they become distant, the connections get more difficult to maintain. But now in this age, we have different kinds of connections to make. So the way that we connect to each other is different than it used to be. It's not just face-to-face. It's not these small social circles that we have. We have these great opportunities to stay connected to people. But we're humans and there's only so much that we can maintain at once. But we move through this world. And we have those who are dear to us, but we also have these little miniature connections that happen throughout the day. These little micro transactions that you have with other people. Your energy affects way more people than you think it does. And if you are on this self-healing journey like I am, you have to realize that when you heal yourself, people see that. They hear it in the way that you speak, in the way that you react. They see your body language. Your energy transfers and carries in so many different ways. So when I say that when you heal yourself, you heal the world, know exactly what I mean. Your energy speaks volumes more than your words ever will. So keep going. And just know that even though the connections in your life may not seem as robust as maybe you want them to, trust that they are still there and that you are making a difference. By improving yourself, you really do improve those around you. And sometimes that's through being placed into certain situations where you are a corrective energy. But I trust that you will try and approach those situations with as much grace as you can muster. And of course, stand your ground when you need to. I hope this helps. I hope this makes sense. Get in those comments if this resonates, or if it doesn't resonate, if you want me to elaborate on something, let me know. But you are a part of this world, and I love thee. I am aimless.